Hello, my friends. My name is Gerdes. I'm just a professor trying to offer context in the war in Ukraine. Here are the three big stories for today. So, yesterday, the Secretary of Defense in the UK, Grant Shapps, made a claim that Russia is gaining offensive weapons, deadly weapons, combat equipment from China. He said this was happening. He said he had the intelligence. Previously, China had been accused by Washington of providing critical components, but that's not the same as the deadly weapons or those kind of things used by Russia's military since 2022, since full-scale invasion of Ukraine. These include microelectronics that have been fitted in tanks and missiles and other weapons. But now we're at a different place if what he's saying is true. And I haven't seen any evidence of it yet, but when it comes out, we'll reevaluate and see what's going on. Calling for NATO to wake up and bolster defense spending alliance-wide, he added U.S. and British defense intelligence can reveal that lethal aid, that's again a very different place to be than some kind of components, is now flying from China to Russia and into Ukraine. So the components get there because they're very often dual use. They could be used for this or that, like a microchip. But okay, it's a hard thing to rein in. But this is a whole different level. And this new intelligence, which leads me to be able to declassify and reveal this fact today, I think it's quite significant. Okay, so we'll see what that is in just a little bit. Well, hopefully within the next couple of days. There's been a 64% increase in trade between the countries, between Russia and China, since the start of the war in Ukraine. It's time for the world to wake up, and that means translating this moment to concrete plans and capabilities. Okay, now, on the other side of that, the United States has questioned the UK's claim, and here's the actual article from the Euromaidan press. The United States has questioned it. Here's Jake Sullivan. The United States has contradicted a claim made by the United Kingdom that Russia and China are collaborating to provide combat equipment for Russia to use in its war against Ukraine. This is Grant Shapps saying, an axis of authoritarian states led by Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea have escalated and fueled conflicts and tensions. They have increasingly been working together, and today I can reveal that we have evidence that Russia and China are collaborating on combat equipment for use in Ukraine. Okay, well, I mean, if that's the case, we'll see the evidence shortly. Jake Sullivan, the U.S. National Security Advisor, disputed this claim. It says, "We have not seen that to date. I look forward to speaking with the UK to make sure that we have a common operating picture." That's not really disputing. That's just saying we haven't seen it. So it's very likely, but we'll see what happens over time. Okay, that's the first big story. Second big story, China launches military drills surrounding Taiwan. They see the President of the United States' reluctance in fighting Russia's aggression back as an invitation. And after 2 years of observing, proof the U.S. will betray its ally. Jake Sullivan, stupidity has made this world a deadly, dangerous place. And that's ironic because that's what Nikki Haley was talking about in her speech yesterday. And I'll talk about that a little bit more in just a little bit. Okay. CNN, here's the story. China starts punishment military drills around Taiwan days after the island swears in a new leader. A little bit down here, China has launched 2 days of large-scale military drills surrounding Taiwan in what it called punishment for so-called separatist acts, days after the self-ruling island swore in a new democratically elected leader who called on Beijing to, get this, it's ironic, to cease its intimidation tactics. So what did they do? Of course, they ceased their intimidation tactics by having these punishment drills around the island. As part of the drills, dozens of Chinese fighter jets carrying live ammunition conducted mock strikes against high-value military targets of the enemy, alongside destroyers, frigates, missiles, speedboats, according to China's state broadcaster CCTV. The exercises, which started early on Thursday and will encircle Taiwan, pose the first real test for the newly elected Lai Ching-te. I think I pronounced that right. I actually looked it up to try to make sure I pronounced Lai Ching-te. Okay. China's ruling Communist Party says Taiwan is part of its territory, despite never having controlled it, which is kind of interesting to claim when you never actually controlled it. The drills are being conducted in the Taiwan Strait, a narrow body of water separating the island from mainland China, listen to this, as well as north, south, and east of Taiwan. So essentially, it's being conducted north, south, east, and west. And again, this is what it looks like. They'll be circling the island. Okay. A senior official responsible for Taiwan security affairs told CNN that as of noon on Thursday, the island detected about 30 Chinese aircraft, most of which crossed the median line into Taiwan's air defense identification zone. That's kind of their territorial waters. The median line is an informal demarcation point in the Taiwan Strait that Beijing does not recognize, but until recent years has largely respected. Okay, so things could pop off in Taiwan and China, and we hope that that doesn't happen, but it's something looming potentially on the horizon. Okay, so we know what happened yesterday with Nikki Haley was that we saw clips on Twitter or YouTube or whatever about her saying that she was going to vote for Donald Trump. And so I started getting all kinds of comments like this one. Dr. Gerdes, what are your thoughts now that Nikki Haley has turned to the dark side and will vote for Trump? So I was going to do this in my three big stories, but I decided against it, and I decided that I would take that and turn it into its own video standalone because it merited its own attention. So you can go back one video and you'll see that there. At the same time, Donald Trump is on trial, as he's been for the last few weeks. Hush money, gag order, protest, the Trump Stormy Daniels trial is still ongoing. And while that's ongoing, Laura Trump, that's his daughter-in-law, who is now in charge of the Republican National Committee, alas, is doing this. You're going to love this. She's selling the Trump Black Card. Listen to this.
All right, folks, if you are watching this today, then I have an offer you are going to love. You are looking at the very limited edition Trump Black Card. Listen to this. This sucker is metal, folks. We have limited quantities of this card. If you want to prove that you are a true Trump Republican, if you want to prove that you want to make America great again, if you want to join us in this fight and get your hot little hands on one of these puppies today, then you are watching the right video. Come join us. Come be on the team. Come get your Trump Black Card right here.
It'll only cost you $100 to get a piece of metal that says Trump Black with his, I think it's his mugshot and his signature. So, I mean, okay. Like, what won't they sell? Remember the official Trump sneakers? They were only $399 per pair if you pre-order, but I don't remember Trump actually wearing sneakers that looked like that. And then you remember the Trump Bible. Now this one worked my nerves because for only $59.99 you can get this special edition Bible. Okay, so my dad's a Gideon. What's a Gideon? A Gideon is somebody who will go to particular place, a busy location where there's an event, and hand out Bibles for free because he wants people to read them. He will actually hand them out. Now, you can judge him all you like, but he's doing this because he thinks it's a good thing. He's not selling it for $59.99 so he can make a huge profit on the Bible. He's just handing them out. There's a difference there. There's also Trump International Escorts, which has been in business since 1999. Did you know about that? In 2015, the name was changed to Mystique Companions after Trump entered the presidential race. So all of you who are buying this Bible thinking that this guy is reading that is the guy that is right now on trial for hush money to a porn star and created this escort service. And you can go back into the Internet Archive to see what it actually was. But here it is, Trump International Elite Travel Companions. So our beautiful escort ladies do not rush your time nor behave with nonchalant attitude that some other high-priced escorts might. These are first-class companions in every way, carefully selected for you. And we don't just say carefully selected lightly. Our applicants are taken through a rigorous selection and interview process to ensure that they possess the minimum quality requirements we expect based on our clients' expectations. If the model who arrives is not as stunning and charming as we have promised, you are entitled to politely decline the appointment and exchange for a different model at no cost, minus any of the model's transport costs. Okay, so, and if anything happens, because people fall in love, well, who can say what? Okay, yeah, you get it. So that's where they are. Okay, last couple things. There's two other things I want to leave with, and that's this. I saw this on Twitter. Can we exist? No, we will destroy you. Well, we'll defend ourselves. Help, NATO is threatening us. Yeah, it's kind of like that. This I want to show you because it keeps happening to me. So the truth behind Nikki's Trump vote, when I posted it, when I put it on Twitter, okay, so I put it right from YouTube, and I'm going to cross that out, and I'm just going to put the hashtag. Watch the hashtag Ukraine. The first thing that pops up is Ukraine is a terrorist state. And, you know, it has autofilled that a number of times. Where does this hashtag come from? Okay. Thank you, my friends. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the likes, the shares, the subscribes. Thank you for being the kind of person that cares about Ukraine.